We're live in Joliet, Illinois at Joliet Memorial Stadium and down on ATI Field. We're ready to start game number 2 of today's doubleheader. We had the Trinity International University women's soccer team defeat the University of St. Francis 2-1 in game 1 of today's twin bill. And now the men's turn to take to the field. Trinity against St. Francis. And it should be a good one today between two teams who have been very competitive in the CCAC the last couple of years. Saints are in white, and they are on the field going from left to right. On your screen here in the first half, they'll be shooting into the south goal. Trinity in blue. They'll be going from right to left and shooting into the north goal. Terry Bonadonna with you for the play-by-play of today's game as the Saints try to pick up the victory against a Trinity team that has gone through some tough slides over the course of the season, but the Trojans come into today coming off of their biggest win of the year, a non-conference 8-1 victory earlier this week. Likewise, the Saints are coming off of a good win. They beat St. Xavier 4-2 earlier this week in their most recent game. We're underway. Trinity taking it from right to left to start things off. It's Joel Karakos getting the whistle blown as Malik Rashid and Karakos got tangled up. Rashid is called for the quick early foul. Starters for Trinity today: Nathan Patterson, Zach Maudsley, Josiah Fox, Johnny Mueller, Tyler Cooey, Sean Fenton, Nick Willard, Jamin Kepfer, Caleb Wells, and Joel Karakos. Kick here belongs to Josiah Fox, and before he can take it, he's got to set the ball up. It rolls away a little bit. It's a windy one down there. The wind right now blowing at the backs of the Trojans, sent deep to the right side and out of bounds. A goal kick coming up for St. Francis, who starts Anthony Marmolejo, Hunter Foose, Fabian Alvarado, Malik Rashid, Jorge Navas, Zakar Shkidchenko, Leonardo Haro, Santos Contreras, Amin Mizyed. Their goalkeeper is Carlos Ferrer Cotto, as the Saints play this one short, kicking into the wind. They'll have a tough time during this first half. Josiah Fox rolls it back to the right side, Jamin Kepfer. Kepfer makes a man miss, pushes it straight ahead to Nathan Patterson. Here's Johnny Mueller working it off to the far sideline. Now run into the box. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto is there to scoop it up. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto in net for St. Francis today, starting for the 8th time this year. He has a 5-2-2 record in the games in which he has had the majority of time on the field. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto has allowed 17 goals and made 55 saves, a .764 percentage. He allows 1.9 goals per game on the season. Just about 2 minutes into the action here, and Trinity International so far has controlled possession, but the Saints are going to get this one on the throw-in from the far sideline. Let's talk about the goalkeeper for Trinity for a moment, the senior from Naperville, Illinois, Andre Wenzel. Wenzel is starting for the 6th time this year. He's allowed 11 goals and made 30 saves, a .732 save percentage. He allows 1.8 goals per contest and has a record of 2-2 in his games. Throw in from the near sideline for Caleb Wells of Trinity. Wells gets it right back along the sideline and taken away by the Saints, Amin Mizyed. Pushed down the field by Morgan McKenzie. Headed back towards Wenzel, and Andre Wenzel picks it up. He'll get to send it the other way for Trinity International. This is Wells, trying to work around a pair of defenders. He is not able to do it, but he was fouled in the process. I think Fabian Alvarado is the one who got him there. Rolled off to the right side. Here's Wells from Patterson. Ahead for Johnny Mueller and taken away by the Saints. Here's Leonardo Haro. Ahead for Zakar Shkidchenko. Shkidchenko is tripped up and another foul is called. This one on Trinity. Fighting Saints will get a free kick and pretty good territory for it right here. Shkidchenko a little bit slow to get up. He's on his 2 feet and looks to be doing okay with 41 minutes to play in the first half. Just 4 minutes into the game so far, and the Saints have their first real scoring chance here. Malik Rashid positions the ball about 35 yards out, rolls it ahead to Shkidchenko and can't quite reach him. Nice interception right there by Joel Karakos. As the Trojans lose the ball out of bounds, Saints get a throw in here, but if Rashid had gotten that ball through to Shkidchenko, that's a scoring opportunity. Instead, Karakos' defense saves the chance. Ball is thrown into the box, and it rolls a little bit too far out in front of Amin Mizyed. Here's Karakos coming the other way. Karakos tries to keep it in bounds, and he doesn't. He's the last one to touch it. Actually, I think he was letting it roll out. He thought it was going to be a Trinity throw-in. Didn't happen that way. So a throw-in belongs to the Fighting Saints and Fabian Alvarado. Here's McKenzie. Morgan McKenzie towards the middle of the field, intercepted. And a quick counter here for Josiah Fox. Fox blows by two defenders, trying to get by the third. Malik Rashid forces him off the ball. Fox falls to the ground. And a free kick is going to belong to Trinity International here. So the foul on Malik Rashid sets up the free kick. 37 yards out and near the far sideline. Johnny Mueller is going to take the kick. Mueller sends it in front of the net. One touch and over the crossbar. Saints catch a break. Zach Maudsley had a great opportunity there. Mueller could not have put the ball on Maudsley's foot any better. An absolutely perfect pass off the free kick, and Maudsley just hit it up a little bit too high. So the score remains 0-0 after the first great scoring chance we've seen today. Maudsley back in control of the ball, taking it off to Caleb Wells. Here's Karakos slowing it down to the defense. 39 minutes to play, first half. Trinity had a chance to take a 1-0 lead, but instead we remain scoreless. Ball is back on the defensive side once again. It's number 20, Jamin Kepfer, passing it off to his left. Caleb Wells intercepted. McKenzie for the Fighting Saints hits it off of Joel Karakos and out of bounds. Throw-in belongs to McKenzie. He fires it downfield, headed back by Wells. In the midfield circle, ball is won by the Saints, but a foul is called against St. Francis. So the Saints have been piling up those fouls early on, and another free kick coming up for Trinity International. Trojans have controlled possession time so far, and this is a big part of the reason why. They've had a number of fouls that have given the ball back to them. Malik Rashid sends it downfield. Saints stay on sides. Alvarado sends it ahead to Shkidchenko. A chance for Shkidchenko. His shot is saved. A good save by Andre Wenzel. Shkidchenko was in good position there, but Wells was closing in from behind. So Shkidchenko, I think, felt he had to get that one off with that touch. Probably the right decision. And he just wasn't able to angle it the way that he wanted to. Wenzel was on top of it the whole way. Had it played perfectly. So Trinity International takes it downfield once again, but the Saints are able to take it right back. Making a long run, it's Mizyed. Mizyed's cross is taken away. Deflected back the other direction by Patterson. Here comes the St. Francis attack once again, and the ball sent in from a long way out. Andre Wenzel able to jump in and make the catch. We've got 37 minutes to go in the first half, 8 minutes into the action. A lot of action early on, but no goals. Here's Shkidchenko trying to control this one off his head over to Mizyed. Mizyed heads it into the box, and the goalkeeper Wenzel steps up and makes another play. That time the Saints didn't quite get enough to get a good shot off, but Mizyed did head it towards the net, and the stop was made by Wenzel. Saints keep the pressure on. Still moving swiftly here. Santos Contreras down in the far corner, and the ball goes down for a Trinity International possession here.
Hey, somebody from Santos Contreras High School contacted me and wanted us to send some pictures to him.
Far side of the field, it's Trinity.
So we can get some pictures of 23.
Long run for Sean Fenton, able to keep it alive. down past the defense, but Carlos Ferrer-Cotto, who stands in wait at the edge of the box, receives that ball and kicks it away. Now the goal is open, and somehow Carlos Ferrer-Cotto is able to lay out and make the stop from almost 20 yards out. Another shot attempt, this one a little bit wide from Joel Caracos, and the Saints will get a goal kick. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto was playing up at the edge of the box, waiting for that ball to come in. When it did, he has not been able to kick it deep down the field because of a stiff wind that's blowing at his face right now. So he ended up playing it short, and that led to a shot attempt for Trinity International. Ferrer-Cotto was more than 15 yards outside of the net, but was able to make a diving save anyway. And then another chance for Caracos, but Caracos' shot didn't go on net, just a few feet wide. A close call. But once again, the Saints are able to prevent the Trojans from getting on the board. Remains 0-0, 10 minutes in. Another foul is called against St. Francis. Kick will be taken once again by Johnny Mueller from the far side of the field. Mueller just over 40 yards out. Immediately intercepted at the edge of the box by St. Francis, sent back beyond midfield. Trinity will have to start this possession over again. It's Patterson rolling it ahead to Kepfer. Here comes Mizyed. Mizyed is tackled off of the ball. Good defense by Nick Willard. And again, it's going Trinity International's way on a free kick. Tyler Cooey tries to set things up. Makes a couple of guys miss and intercepted by Shkidchenko. Shkidchenko pushes it down the sideline. Nobody else there in white. So Caleb Wells is able to let that ball roll straight out of bounds. Or I guess he wasn't able to. He did. But it was last touched by Trinity. I thought Shkidchenko got that one last. So did everybody on that Trinity sideline. Wells was all set to throw it in. But it is a St. Francis throw. Belongs to Morgan McKenzie. McKenzie tosses it into the box. Shkidchenko trying to make a play on Kepfer. Shkidchenko rolls it towards the end line, and it's out of bounds. Well defended by Kepfer, not allowing Shkidchenko to get another touch on that ball. It goes out for a goal kick. Andre Wenzel in his pink goalkeeper's jersey sets it up, sends everybody downfield. His line drive kick goes across midfield. Bounces a couple of times and all the way back to Carlos Ferrer-Cotto, who lets it go into the box as he makes the catch. Again, the wind blowing in that direction at the back of Trinity International, so those punts go a long way. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto's punt goes a long way as well. It did get caught up in the wind slightly. Down the field, Alvarado has it deflected out of bounds by Caracos. Morgan McKenzie set to toss it in. Headed towards the middle of the field, a run for the ball and knocked away by Trinity. Malik Rashid tried to get to that ball and get a shot off in front of the net. Was not able to get there. Trinity cleared it efficiently. Here come the Trojans. It's a run for Cooey. Cooey down deep on the right side. Pulls it back to the midfield. Cooey once again. Rolls it off to Willard. And Willard goes further back. Sent into the box and controlled briefly by Johnny Mueller, but Mueller was offsides. Flag goes up, the whistle is blown, and the Saints get to clear it with just under 32 minutes now to play in the first half. St. Francis trying to win their second consecutive game and their third in their last four. They've had an interesting couple of games over the last week and a half. 5-0 win against Roosevelt, 2-0 loss to Holy Cross, and then a 4-2 win over St. Xavier. So they've scored 5, 0, and 4 in their last three games. It's been all or nothing for the Saints lately. Ball sent in deep. Contreras trying to keep it alive at the back line. It does stay in bounds, but ultimately pushed out along the sideline by Trinity. It's going to be a throw in here for the Fighting Saints. Contreras drops it where it is. Lets Alvarado grab it for the throw-in. Tossed in front of the net, headed away by Kepfer. Malik Rashid got spun around, and he loses his chance at the ball. Here's Johnny Mueller. Across midfield. Josiah Fox pushes off to his left and knocked away by Hunter Foose. Trinity once again making their way down the field. Foose applies the defensive pressure on Sean Fenton. Fenton keeps control. Passed off to the right side. Fox. And taken away by Morgan McKenzie with a big kick downfield. Along the sideline. A good run for Marmolejo. And a foul called on St. Francis. That one goes against Marmolejo, I think. Still no score here. Just under a half hour to play in the first half. Trinity International had control the first couple of minutes, setting up some good chances for themselves. St. Francis has evened things out. The Trojans had the best shot of the game with a seemingly open net, but Carlos Furcoto made a stop from more than 15 yards out in the box. And we've played even once again since then. Caleb Wells tries to get it towards the center of the field. Shkidchenko deflects it. Now it's Mizyed. Mizyed looking to control the ball. Can't do it. Instead, Patterson takes it the other way. Tripped up from behind by Mizyed. Another foul is called against St. Francis. Ball is rolled off from Maudsley to Patterson. And another man down for Trinity International. Josiah Fox hit the ground that time. Foul called on the Fighting Saints. Patterson works it slowly to the right side and Kepfer. Here's Willard. Willard turns and cuts it upfield. In the midfield circle, pushed off to his right. Fenton. Fenton touches it once again, loses it behind him, and taken away by Morgan McKenzie. McKenzie ahead for Shkidchenko. Shkidchenko turns to the outside. He receives that ball along the sideline, and off his first touch, he kicks it out of bounds. Throw-in coming up for the Trinity International Trojans with 28 minutes to play in the first half. Thrown in by Caleb Wells towards midfield. And nobody's able to control that one as it goes out of bounds. Fabian Alvarado on the defense for St. Francis. He rolls it out to Morgan McKenzie. McKenzie gets the throw in. Headed by Wells towards the middle. Hunter Foose gets involved for the Fighting Saints. Anthony Marmolejo is tripped up and a foul is called against Trinity International as Marmolejo hits the ground. A little bit of pain down there as he climbs up to his knees. Foul against Trinity International on Marmolejo sets up a good spot for a free kick for St. Francis right in the middle of the field. And less than 30 yards out, Marmolejo is up and walking it off now. Ball is positioned by Malik Rashid. He and Shkidchenko stand behind the ball. Rashid typically the one who takes the free kicks. This time it's Shkidchenko, and Shkidchenko goes a little bit high, tried to put it on goal, and just missed his target. Out of bounds for a goal kick. A lot more fouls have been called in this first half on St. Francis than on Trinity International, but the Saints have had the best opportunities off those fouls, or at least they've had two good ones. Neither time have they been able to capitalize as that shot from Shkidchenko goes just over the net. Best scoring chance really for either team. I mentioned earlier the one that Carlos Furcoto made the stop way outside the net. But off of a free kick, Johnny Mueller hooked up with Zach Maudsley right in front of the net. That was only about 5 or 6 minutes into the match. And Maudsley tapped it right over the net. A perfect pass. Found his foot, and he just wasn't able to finish it off. Here's a run down into the corner. Malik Rashid crosses it, and it's intercepted by Patterson. Patterson clears it for Trinity and out of bounds. There's the throw in along the sideline, knocked up into the air. Contreras tries to turn it inwards. It's knocked off his foot out of bounds. And again, last touched by the Trojans. Marmolejo will get the throw in here. He fires it into the box. Kicked up towards Shkidchenko. The header is a little bit wide. Nice bicycle kick from, I think, Mizyed there, setting up Shkidchenko. A good feed to him. And a nice header from Shkidchenko. Just couldn't quite get it on target. Wide to the left by a couple of feet. Just under 25 minutes to play in the first half. Wenzel gets the goal kick. Keeps it close to the ground as he gets to midfield. Wells sends it the other direction. Here's Alvarado's kick downfield looking for Mizyed, headed away by Patterson. Wells saves it in bounds. Back to Patterson. Rolled ahead to Fox, and now Jamin Kepfer. His pass goes longer than he wanted it to, and intercepted there by Leonardo Harrow. Battle for possession at midfield. Won initially by the Saints, taken back by the Trojans. And an interception there by Rashid. Mizyed works his way backwards. Ahead to Contreras along the sideline. Contreras tries to blow by Cooey. He can't do it, but the Saints are going to get possession back here. As Cooey gets a quick talking to from the official following his foul. Free kick for the Saints right on the sideline. Malik Rashid has it set. Here's Rashid's free kick. Into the box, knocked away by the Trojans and off towards the sideline out of bounds. Throw in from the corner for Anthony Marmolejo. Headed the other direction by Maudsley. Here comes Hunter Foose up from the back line. Back into the box, and Caleb Wells gets rid of it. Shot from long range for Rashid, and that's well wide. Out of bounds for a goal kick. We are scoreless, and we're just about halfway through the first half. 22:43 showing on the clock at the moment. Free kick beyond midfield, bounces over the shoulder of Foose. Saints are able to clear it. Jorge Navas sends it the other way. Alvarado tries to make a play on it, but loses it out of bounds. Wells tosses back in for Trinity. Fenton into the middle of the field. Knocked up into the air by Cooey, cleared by Contreras. Here come the Trojans once again. Maudsley passes to his left. It's Wells. Back to Maudsley. Malik Rashid tries to take it from Maudsley, and he does. Good defense by the midfielder Malik Rashid. Pushed ahead to the left side, trying to find Marmolejo. He can't get him. Taken back by Trinity. Fenton. Stolen by Mizyed. Mizyed makes a man miss. Now he's out in front of two defenders. Rolled ahead for Shkidchenko. Shkidchenko controls it. One step back. There's the cross. The header from Marmolejo is wide and out of bounds. Marmolejo wants the corner kick here, and he's going to get it. Marmolejo got his head on the ball, but Nick Willard deflected it out. So we got our first corner kick of the game. It belongs to St. Francis. It's down on the far side of the field. Santos Contreras has it set. There's the kick. Goes in deep, headed by Rashid. And back the other way, Alvarado rather on that header. Now a chance battling for it. There's the shot and a goal. Goal scored by Morgan McKenzie. Off the corner kick, the Saints did not initially put it in, but as Trinity looked to clear, McKenzie was waiting on the back end of the box and was able to force it in. From about 20 yards out, dead on, McKenzie scores for the Saints and makes it 1-0 with 21:06 remaining on the clock. The Saints get the first goal of the game. We just did the St. Francis versus Trinity International women's game. We saw that just before here, and the first goal was scored at a nearly identical time. It was 21:01 on the clock in that game. This time 21:06. McKenzie puts it in. Puts St. Francis on top. Fighting Saints, I mentioned earlier, have been all or nothing lately. Their last 3 games, they've either scored at least 4 goals or they've been shut out. So the fact that they're on the board means that they won't be shut out, obviously, today, and maybe they're on their way to a big day as Zakhar Shkidchenko has to check out. Shkidchenko a little banged up, and we'll see a sub come on for him. His replacement is Diego Cortez. So Cortez is on the field following Shkidchenko's injury. McKenzie's goal. For Morgan McKenzie, that is the 8th goal of the season. He leads the team in that category. As Diego Cortez checks out. Zakhar Shkidchenko back in. So Cortez got all of 0 seconds in the game, but he at least got to experience being on the field. Shkidchenko's feeling okay and back in before the first kick out of the goal being scored. Trinity International takes it back on the defensive side. So if McKenzie's 8 goals, 3 of them came in one game earlier this year. But just the fact that he is easily the team leader in goals scored despite playing on defense is pretty impressive. Second on the team is Shkidchenko. Actually, sorry, Mizyet has 5. Shkidchenko is third on the team with 4. But 8 now for McKenzie, who has given the Saints a 1-0 lead. This is Mizyet. Sent downfield by Trinity. And knocked up high towards that sideline. It stays in. And a foul is called on Trinity. Just under 20 minutes to play. First half. 1 goal lead for St. Francis. Jorge Navas sets the ball up for the free kick. Pushed off to the right side. Killed by the wind a little bit as it blows back towards the kicker. But another foul is called on Trinity International. McKenzie rolls it down to Shkidchenko, and Malik Rashid steps up to the ball for the free kick. Just over 30 yards out off to the right side. Once again, it's Rashid and Shkidchenko behind the ball. Rashid is the one who's going to take the kick. He gets it off to Shkidchenko. Shkidchenko touches it once, and it's out of bounds for a goal kick. Good ball from Malik Rashid that time. It's the same play they tried a little bit earlier from a very similar spot on the field. That time, they weren't able to get it through to Shkidchenko. It was deflected by the defender. This time he gets the ball through and just not quite at the angle that Shkidchenko wanted to take a shot. Trenton Garside is coming in for Trinity International as they make a couple of substitutions. Fenton, Cooey, and Euler all come out. Saw Garside come in. I think Luca Eric is another one as Josiah Fox makes his way downfield. Fox turns it back towards the middle. Fox taking a look at the net. Rolls it off to the right. It's the first touch for Garside, who passes off to his right as it deflected out of bounds. Jovan Yankovic is the other one to come in. Jovan Yankovic on the far side of the field right now. Throw in for Trinity International. Caleb Wells backs up and now fires it forward. Into the box, headed away by Contreras and cleared by Morgan McKenzie. Over on the opposite end, a battle for the ball won by Jamin Kepfer. Kepfer pushes it forward, knocked away by Hunter Foose. McKenzie heads it towards the sideline, and Jorge Navas tracks it down, kicking it up into the blue track down on the far side of the field, out of bounds. 17:10 on the clock. Trinity International has the ball, trailing by 1 goal. Another long throw in for Wells. Knocked back, still loose in the box. Saints looking to clear it, and a whistle blows. Foul is called on Trinity International. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto has the ball set up for the free kick as everybody else traipses back towards midfield. Kick is a high one across the midfield line, headed back by Trinity. Morgan McKenzie keeps it in bounds, going the other side of the field. It is out, but at least able to reverse field position a little bit with that kick. Throw in for Caleb Wells. Off of Luca Eric, and McKenzie another big kick held up in the wind. It dies. Inbounds this time though. Patterson off towards the sideline, and last touched by Shkidchenko as it goes out of bounds. Wells throws it in long, looking for Eric, but Harrow comes in from behind him and knocks it away. Tapped out of bounds by Josiah Fox. Didn't have a clean touch on that ball.
Yeah, usually they'll draw the next like once you stop it after a goal.
Morgan McKenzie throws it in deep for Mizyed. Mizyed taps it towards the sideline, working against Patterson. And it's going St. Francis's way as Mizyed is tripped up out of bounds by Patterson. He's a little shaken up. Foul called against Trinity International. So the clock runs down close to 15 minutes to play in the first half. The Saints looking to double their lead. Sakar Shkidchenko has the ball set up. Shkidchenko joined by Rashid, and it'll be Malik Rashid taking the kick, passing off to Shkidchenko, a little bit out in front of him. He turns and takes the shot anyway, and it's wide of the net, out of bounds. That was one where Shkidchenko had himself positioned to receive that pass, but a little bit short. The pass rolled past him, and clearly he was looking to take the quick shot off receiving the feed from Rashid. If he had gotten it cleanly, probably would have had a good shot on goal, but as it was, he was just at an awkward position coming in from behind the ball. Another chance for Mizyed, but Patterson knocks the ball away from him towards the sideline, out of bounds. It's going to be a St. Francis throw-in. There's the throw by Marmolejo in front of the net, headed back the other direction by Trinity. Contreras over to Foose. Rolled to the left side and intercepted. Josiah Fox tries to push it forward towards the sideline. It's out of bounds, and the throw-in is going to go St. Francis's way. Big kick by Contreras down the middle of the field. It rolls back towards the box. Long run Mizyed. Mizyed tries to get there, and he gets tangled up with Patterson. Both men hit the ground. Good job by Patterson getting in the way of Mizyed there. The only way Mizyed could get to that ball and get a shot off was by running him over. He did. Mizyed was called for the foul in the process, and that created the free kick for Trinity, though they lose possession here. That was shaping up to be a really good chance for St. Francis had Patterson not forced himself in the way of the St. Francis attacker. Mizyed tries to control it, can't. Patterson takes it away instead. Ahead to Luca Eric. Eric working against Leonardo Harrow. Rolls to the far outside. Willard slows things down. Passed back to Zach Maudsley. Maudsley sets everybody up downfield and now comes back to the near sideline. This is Wells. Wells pushes forward to Caracos. Caracos gets by Alvarado, working against Alvarado from behind. Alvarado comes in, knocks the ball out, and it was last touched by Trinity. 12 and a half minutes to go. One to nothing. St. Francis leads on Morgan McKenzie's 24th minute goal about 9 minutes ago in game time. Luca Eric controls it off his chest, rolls back to the middle. Nice job by Malik Rashid getting in the way there. Fox trying to get it back. Sent behind him to Jovan Yankovic. Yankovic passes back to Jamin Kepfer. Now it's Fox to middle of the field, and Eric. Eric is halted by Hunter Foose. He sends it forward, a little bit past Mizyed. Patterson, pressured by Shkidchenko, finds Wells. Caleb Wells along the sideline for the Trojans. Hassled by Shkidchenko, finally passes back behind him to Patterson. Here's Wells getting the feed from Maudsley, and back to Patterson. Trinity in no hurry here, just trying to keep the ball out of the hands of the Saints. Patterson rolled over to Wells on his left. Wells a quick tap ahead to Fox. And here comes Josiah Fox. Fox sends it too far out in front of his intended target. I think trying to find Luca Eric there. It goes back to the goalkeeper, Carlos Ferrer-Cotto. And he takes his time before finally picking it up as he's challenged by Trenton Garside. Again, Carlos Ferrer-Cotto takes his time, rolls it out in front of him, and gives it a couple of taps downfield before the big kick. Slowed down over the head of Wells and Shkidchenko. Tapped by Mizyed to the outside, looking for Alvarado. Alvarado couldn't catch up. Out of bounds, a throw-in coming up for Wells. Wells bounces it once and off the chest of Eric. Morgan McKenzie shoots it the other way. Here comes Yankovic. Yankovic to the outside, Garside. Garside right back to a cutting Yankovic. Back towards midfield. They're on the far side of the pitch and knocked away by Malik Rashid. Sent well down the field into an unplayable area by Anthony Marmolejo. Wenzel starts making a move in the other direction. Under 10 minutes on the clock. 1-0 St. Francis late in the first half. Kepfer to his right. Santos Contreras jumps in the way. Off to Marmolejo. Down the middle of the field, Mizyed takes a shot and scores. Amin Mizyed doubles the Saints' lead. It's 2-0. And a nice shot from just outside the box for him. Good, strong possession for the Saints. They set it up for their junior midfielder from Oak Lawn, transferred in from UIC. And he strikes for his 6th goal of the year. The top 2 goal scorers this year for St. Francis have been Morgan McKenzie and Amin Mizyed. They both are on the board today with their 8th and 6th goals respectively. Stefan Yakovalivic is in for the Fighting Saints as Hunter Foose checks out. A 2-goal lead now for St. Francis. Here's Josiah Fox, pressured by Rashid. Rolled to the left side. Wells tripped up. He gets the ball off to Caracos. And cleared by Leonardo Harrow. Mizyed loses the ball to Patterson. Caracos spins around. Taken from him, and Alvarado has it from Mizyet. Caracos nearly tripped up on the play by Rashid. Keeps his footing. Gives it off to Luca Eric. And there's the whistle as Eric is forced to the ground by Leonardo Harrow. 8.5 minutes to go. Saints have a good first half lead here. McKenzie and Mizyet have scored. Here's Shkidchenko. Pass to the left. Marmolejo on the move. Pulls back. Taps it off to Navas. Jorge Navas on the far side. Sends it deep into the box. Shkidchenko, long run. Shkidchenko gets there before Wells does. Crosses back over to his left. Shkidchenko takes the shot, and he scores. Another one for St. Francis. It's 3-0. Wenzel tried to make the diving save, but it kicked up off his hand and rolled up over and into the back of the net. Good effort from Wenzel. Looked like he had the stop. I don't know if it took a tough hop on him at the last second or if he just got it off the end of his hand and was not able to stop the momentum of that shot. So Shkidchenko scores a goal. 7:53 to play in the first half. And the Saints got a couple of goals in quick succession. So I mentioned that the top 2 goal scorers have both put one in for St. Francis. Now the top 3 goal scorers all have. McKenzie has his 8th. Mizyet has his 6th. Shkidchenko has his 5th. Another big offensive output from St. Francis today. There's a shot from long distance, well out of bounds. They have scored at least 3 goals now in 3 of their last 4 games. And we're only in the first half of this one. That's now 12 total goals in their last 4 games. Saints have turned up the offensive heat lately. Headed towards Trinity International's attacking zone. But Carlos Veracruz steps up and kicks it downfield. Contreras pushes it ahead for Marmolejo, looking for the middle of the field in Mizyet. Shkidchenko freed up in the middle. Shkidchenko against Wells. Caleb Wells wins that fight as he slide tackles that ball out of bounds. Good play by Caleb Wells. The Trojans needed him to step up right there. As Shkidchenko was on the run, it was one-on-one with an opportunity for the Saints to get their 4th goal. Down in the corner, Mizyet hits it off of Willard and out of bounds. So it sets up the corner kick. 6 minutes to play in the first half. Already a big lead for St. Francis. Trying to pull away before halftime. Santos Contreras will take the free kick. Comes in right in front of the net. Stefan Yakovalevic deflected away by Andre Wenzel. And out of bounds, last touched by Wenzel there. So we'll get another corner kick. This one from the opposite side of the field, the near sideline. And so the Fighting Saints will call on Shkidchenko to take the kick from this side. They got a good shot off after the last corner. See if they get another one here. Back post, headed away. Trinity going quickly the other way, looking for the counter, but Carlos Veracruz sends it back to St. Francis's direction. Morgan McKenzie out to Santos Contreras. Contreras works his way forward, looking for Marmolejo. Marmolejo gets the touch, by one defender. He takes the shot, and it's headed up into the air and out of bounds. He's looking for the cross to Shkidchenko there rather than the shot itself, I think, but it was knocked away by Willard. And the Saints will get another corner kick. St. Francis has gotten a couple of good shots off of corners. They scored indirectly off of a corner kick earlier in the half. Their first goal of the game came off a rebound following the corner kick. So they have played these things out very well so far today. We'll see if they can do it again here. Shkidchenko will take the kick with 4 minutes to play. He goes out deep. There's the header back to Shkidchenko's direction. One touch and a offsides call is made. It's a tough one for Shkidchenko. Never really had a chance to get back onsides after the corner kick. But he loses possession for St. Francis as the goal kick belongs to Trinity. Here's Mizyed. Tries to send it through to Shkidchenko. He does. This time Shkidchenko stays onsides, takes a shot, but Wenzel makes the save. A good save by Wenzel. A screaming shot from Zakhar Shkidchenko, but right at Wenzel's breadbasket. He was ready for it. And now he's ready to get the ball moving in the other direction. Across midfield, headed back by Contreras. Up at the midfield circle, Rashid heads it off. Josiah Joseph takes control for Trinity. Lost by Wells, though. There's Navas, a big kick down the sideline looking for Marmolejo. That ball drifted on him. Headed back, though, to Mizyed. Another chance for St. Francis. Mizyed makes his way forward and taken off the ball by Kepfer. Interception from Malik Rashid. Trinity gets it back on the defensive side. Along the sideline. This is deflected towards the middle of the field by the Saints and cleared by Harrow. Kepfer to his right and Willard. Willard pushes forward for Eric, and Eric has it knocked away from him out of bounds. Throw in here for the Trojans. Just about 2 minutes to play in the first half of action. St. Francis dominant so far with a 3-goal lead. Here's Navas taking it away from Eric. Deflected off the kick from Navas. Eric sends it out of bounds. Throw in here for St. Francis. Navas set to toss it in. Headed back the other way by Kepfer out of bounds. They'll do it again from the same spot. This time Anthony Marmolejo tosses it in. Headed into the box. A run here for Mizyed and out of bounds. It's a goal kick this time for Trinity. The Saints have had 3 corner kicks in the last 6 minutes from a similar spot on the field. I guess from the corner always, but on similar play. This time, though, they're able to get the goal kick. Wenzel's going to try to start one last attack for Trinity International this half. Under a minute to go. Ricocheted back to St. Francis' defensive side. Josiah Fox tries to control it. Shkidchenko takes it back for St. Francis. So Shkidchenko can set up one last attack for St. Francis in the first half. Shkidchenko all the way down to the corner, pulls it back. Now looking for the cross, doesn't have it. He trips and falls, knocked out of bounds, or towards the sideline, stays in bounds. Contreras towards the middle of the field. 30 seconds to play. Cleared by Trinity. And now the Saints want to make sure that the Trojans can't get another chance going forward. There's a big ball sent by McKenzie down to the box for Mizyed. Mizyed, with his back towards the net, controls the ball, now turns and takes a shot on Wenzel, who makes a clean save. And that should be all for the first half. Wenzel is taking his time before giving the punt. We're down to the final 5 seconds, and the first half is going to come to a close with our score 3-0 in favor of St. Francis. A dominant first half for the Fighting Saints. Didn't start out that way. Trinity International had some good chances early on in that half, but they weren't able to capitalize. Later on, the Saints took control. They did capitalize on their opportunities. Goals for McKenzie, Mizyed, and Shkidchenko. And that means it's time for us to take a pause. It's halftime, and St. Francis leads 3-0. In 15 minutes, we'll be back for the start of the second half as the Saints try to put away the Trojans and come up with their 6th win of the year. They lead by 3 at the break. With 45 minutes done and 45 minutes still to be played, it's 3-0 St. Francis over Trinity International. Halftime concluding here at Joliet Memorial Stadium. Terry Bonadonna back with you on the call for today's game as the Saints try to make it 2 straight wins. Off to a very good start. 3-0 they lead. They got a goal in the 24th minute from Morgan McKenzie. They got one in the 36th minute from Amin Mizyed, and then in the 38th minute from Zakhar Shkidchenko. Saints really outplayed Trinity for most of the first half, and they didn't have that much more to show for it. It was 1-0 until that stretch starting in the 36th minute when they scored 2 goals in the span of a minute and a half. Mizyed and Shkidchenko were able to distance the Saints a little bit. Mizyed's goal was assisted by Anthony Marmolejo. Shkidchenko's from Jorge Navas. We are underway in the second half as Trinity takes the ball, going from left to right now. And that means they are going into the wind in the second half. And the wind has not appeared to have slowed down at all. I don't know that it's really intensified either, but it has been a big factor throughout the day too. We see it right there on a ball hit well downfield. It nearly died at midfield and dropped on Trinity's side, but it's going to be a challenge for the Trojans now. It was a challenge for the Saints in the first half and one that they met head on as they scored 3 goals into the wind. Skies are overcast, and that's something to look at as well. There was some lightning off in the distance at halftime, so we've got to watch for potential weather issues going forward. As Shkidchenko tries to chase this ball down and keep it in, he is not quite able to do it, but he does get to the ball in enough time to knock it out the sideline instead of the back line, so it's going to be a throw-in rather than a goal kick. So Shkidchenko with some good speed there, and that's another play that was impacted by the wind, because if that's going the other way, he probably would have been able to catch that ball easily, but the wind picked the speed of that ball skidding down the field up, and he ended up barely able to even send it out the sideline, not able to reach it and keep control of it. Santos Contreras beat for the ball by Tyler Cooey, but Cooey is called for the foul. So a free kick coming up here for St. Francis, a minute and a half into second half of play. It'll be set up just beyond midfield by Morgan McKenzie, who scored his 8th goal of the season earlier this afternoon. McKenzie's kick off to the right side finds its target, Shkidchenko. Shkidchenko turns and fires across the field for Contreras and out of the range of Contreras. It's going to be a goal kick. Once again, the skies have turned cloudy. It was a beautiful sunny start to this day. We began the doubleheader at noon, 60 degrees and perfectly sunny skies overhead. The sun is gone. No precipitation just yet, though. There will most likely be some rain before we're done. There's some thunderstorms supposed to be coming in a little bit later, but hopefully not until we're finished with this game. The rain is expected to arrive before the game concludes. Foul against St. Francis, and after Malik Rashid gets a talking to from the referee, we're ready to continue. In the first half, St. Francis took 16 total shots to just 3 for Trinity International. Shots on goal, 8-1 in favor of the Saints. Jorge Navas sends it downfield for Amin Mizyed, but overshoots him out of bounds. And we've seen a lot of that already here. These passes from St. Francis overgoing their intended targets. And I think that is just kind of an adjustment being made right now to the wind and the fact that they're playing with the wind at their backs now. Here's Fox, Josiah Fox to the middle of the field and intercepted by St. Francis. Here's Malik Rashid. Rashid loses the ball to Cooey. Willard right back ahead to Cooey. Santos Contreras has it deflected off of Fenton out of bounds, but it went out before Contreras kicked it to Fenton, so it is out of bounds. Excuse me, it's out of bounds off of Fenton. So the Saints take possession. Marmolejo waiting for that ball to catch up to him. It does, but so does Willard. Willard knocks it away from Marmolejo and back to Patterson. Nathan Patterson kicks it towards midfield, headed back the other way. There's Maudsley Across midfield, McKenzie pushes it out of bounds. Throw in here for Trinity International. Tossed in along the sideline. Fox loses the ball to the Saints, but it is knocked up into the air and out of bounds by McKenzie. So the Trojans get a throw in. Sent into Mueller. Back to Fox. Josiah Fox working against Leonardo Harrow. And Fabian Alvarado is able to jump in front of that pass as he was trying to get it to Caracos. Caracos able to control it along the sideline. Still on the move for the Trojans. Caracos steps back, sends it into the box, and headed away by St. Francis. That was McKenzie who got his head on that ball. Good clearance by the Fighting Saints. Down the near sideline and chased down by Kepfer. Kepfer to Willard. They keep it in bounds once again. Trojans in possession. And they lose it to Shkidchenko. Shkidchenko, his kick is deflected out of bounds. We're going to get a corner kick down in the near corner for St. Francis. Leading 3-0 with 39.5 minutes to play in the second half. Saints got a chance right there as Shkidchenko had the ball deflect right over to him in the middle of the field. He had one-on-one in front of the net, and his shot was deflected out. So a corner kick for Contreras. Contreras has got it set up. There's the kick. It goes into the back post. Headed in front of the net, and it's caught by the goalkeeper, Daniel Hill. Hill, the junior goalkeeper, came on during halftime, replacing Andre Wenzel, who did make 5 saves in the first half, but also allowed 3 goals. So Daniel Hill is appearing in his second game of the year. He allowed 1 goal and made 3 saves. First time he got a chance to play this season. Ball sent ahead to Josiah Fox. Morgan McKenzie takes the ball from him. McKenzie makes his way forward, trying to find Marmolejo, but a whistle. And a foul called on Trinity. McKenzie has it set up for the free kick. Pushes it down the near sideline towards Contreras. Contreras tracks it down, a good ball. Now the cross, and he can't get it to Mizyed. It's cleared by Patterson. Yakovalivic pushes it forward. This is Marmolejo. Anthony Marmolejo tries to get around Willard. So far, no luck. Now he pulls back towards the middle of the field and poked away by Kepfer. Take that back. That was Cooey who took it away, not Kepfer. There's Kepfer working against Mizyed. Mizyed back to the middle of the field. Mizyed turns to face the goal, still in control of the ball, deflected by Caleb Wells and cleared by Kepfer. Right back to Stefan Yakovalivic. Yakovalivic's ball deflected by Wells. Patterson knocks it away. Now Malik Rashid into the box for Mizyed. Cleared again by Trinity International. Good defense by the Trojans and knocked towards the back line and out for a goal kick. Trinity stands tall defensively there as the Saints kept the pressure on tight. They were not able to do anything with a couple of chances, though. Didn't even get the opportunity to get a shot off. Here's Wells passing it back. Making his way forward, Patterson rolls it to Fenton and intercepted by McKenzie. McKenzie to his left. Long run Contreras, and Santos Contreras can't track that ball down. It's out of bounds for a Trinity throw-in. 8.5 minutes into the second half. Same score we had at the break, 3-0. Headed into the box, and another pickup for Daniel Hill. Shkidchenko on the move for the Fighting Saints. Shkidchenko turns to his right, looking for Mizyed, but overshot him out of bounds. Here's the throw in for Wells. Hugging the sideline, he finds Johnny Mueller. They go back to the defensive side. Wells keeping things tight along the sideline. Into the middle, it's Jamin Kepfer. Kepfer dribbles a couple of times, passes forward to Mueller. Rashid gets in his way. Now Yakovalic gets involved as well. Trinity maintains possession, though. Contreras nearly knocks it away. Here's Marmolejo. Marmolejo hits it off of Willard and out of bounds. Throw in coming up for the Fighting Saints along the near side. It's Anthony Marmolejo who lays it off for Santos Contreras. Contreras will inbound. Down the sideline looking for Mizyed, who is grabbed by Kepfer and prevented from receiving that ball, but knocked back out of bounds by Trinity. Here's Marmolejo's throw. Again for Mizyed. This time he gets it to him. Back to Marmolejo. He takes the shot. Hill dives on top of it. That one was going to go wide. But Hill, rather than let it go out of bounds and risk somebody putting it in from the back end, falls on top of it to make sure that the play is stopped. Punted high into the air, drops well short of midfield as Contreras has it knocked out of bounds from behind him by by Cooey. And the throw in belongs to Jorge Navas. Headed back by Kepfer. Cleared for the moment by Maudsley. Maudsley gets it back. Rushes it forward to Fenton. Fenton gets across midfield, and the Saints reclaim possession and re-begin their attack. Shkidchenko on the move. Shkidchenko takes a shot, deflected back by Jamin Kepfer. Here's Caleb Wells. Wells working against Mizyed. Mizyed takes it away, down into the corner and out of bounds for a goal kick. Mizyed tried to deflect that off a defender, but it was already out before he was able to get that final touch on it. Ball is set up for a goal kick for Daniel Hill. It rolls away from him for a moment, and that's something that's been going on all throughout the game and probably will continue to as the wind continues to blow hard in the direction of Daniel Hill's goal. He was able to set it up again and kick it away, but it's out of bounds on the far sideline, right up midfield for a St. Francis throw. McKenzie gears up and fires it in along the sideline, tipped out by Maudsley. Tossed into the box, deflected once. There's a shot and a nice save by Hill as he punches it out of bounds. That was Malik Rashid on that hard shot. But Hill got in the way and was able to make the stop cleanly. Corner kick coming up from the far corner for Shkidchenko. 32 and a half minutes to play in this game. Shkidchenko's corner kick goes back beyond the net, and it ends up curling straight out of bounds. Harrow tried to keep that one in play, was not able to do so. So the wind helped out Trinity right there. Here's Yakovalic stealing that pass. Yakovalic works his way inside. Past him is Mizyed. The shot is good. Another goal for Amin Mizyed. His second goal of the day, 32 minutes and 1 second on the clock, and the Saints' lead is now 4-0. Mizyed scores his 7th goal of the season, assisted by Stefan Yakovalic. And a great assist there from Yakovalic, who came up with a steal, perfect pass, and a good hard finish for Mizyed. For Yakovalic, assist number 1 this season. Comes in the 58th minute, 20 minutes after the last goal that St. Francis scored. Trinity once again trying to respond, but they're running out of time now, trailing by 4. They've got to start scoring in a hurry. And as Karakos' pass is deflected away, right back to Karakos. Malik Rashid gives it to Morgan McKenzie and lets McKenzie give the big kick downfield. Daniel Hill waits back on it, and as the ball finally rolls into the box, he's able to pick it up. Here comes Yakovalic. To his left, can't quite hook up with Contreras. Pass from Maudsley deflected. Harrow hits it up high into the air, off to the far side. Wells chases it down and watches as that ball bounces towards the sideline and out of bounds. Tossed back into Fenton. Fenton turns upfield. Finds Mueller. And a whistle way on the other side of the field. We got a foul, I think, against Trinity. They're sending the ball way back to the other side. I'm not sure exactly what the call was there. St. Francis, I think, is going to get a throw in here, it looks like. They make a couple of substitutions. Tiago Bandeta is into the game, and so is Diego Cortez. Cortez came on oh so briefly during the first half. He came in when Shkidchenko was apparently hurt. Shkidchenko came right back in, and Cortez didn't even play so much as a single second. But his name did show up on the score sheet, and now he's actually on the field along with Tiago Bandeta. Anthony Marmolejo will inbound on the far side throw-in. Marmolejo fires it in front of the net, headed away by Wells. Ball loose in front of the net, headed again by Wells. Right back to Marmolejo, takes the shot, and it's wide and out of bounds. .48:45 on the clock. Goal kick here for Daniel Hill. It's a short one. Finally touched by a Trojan. And a whistle. Foul is called on St. Francis. And the clock will stop here. As the referee has another conversation with Malik Rashid. He's going to give Rashid a yellow card. So a yellow card for Malik Rashid, 28:29 on the clock. Second half. Free kick coming up for Trinity International. Zach Maudsley is set up for the kick. Maudsley sends it down into the box, headed into the air, and cleared by Yakovalic. Wells steps up, trying to make a play again. He's knocked to the ground by Bandeta, and the whistle blows, stopping play with Caleb Wells on the ground. Foul called against St. Francis. And a free kick coming up for Trinity International from just outside the box to the left side. They're going to be about 35 yards out. Make that about 25 yards out on the left side. Kick will be taken by either Fox or Mueller. The two men confer right behind the ball, waiting for the go-ahead. There's the whistle. And it'll be Mueller taking the kick as Fox starts to make his move in. There's the shot, and Carlos Ferrer-Cotto knocks it aside. So the score remains 4-0. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto's shutout still intact as he gets set to punt it downfield. with the wind. A long punt for Carlos Ferrer-Cotto. It drops just outside the other team's box, and Daniel Hill is able to pick it up on one hop. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto's got a booming leg, and when he's got this kind of wind on his side as well, he can push it all the way into the net. Not something I don't think he'd try to do. Daniel Hill is still standing down there to stop it, but he almost got it there right outside the box as it landed about 80 yards downfield. Here's Cooey losing the ball to Yakovalic. Alvarado downfield and off the head of Diego Cortez. Cortez pushes ahead to Marmolejo. Marmolejo tries to keep it in bounds and does. Nice first touch. Now Marmolejo takes it outside, gets an angle, takes the shot and scores. It's 5-0, St. Francis. Beautiful shot from Anthony Marmolejo. Looked like the ball was going to be going out of bounds initially. He saved it from going out, took a few steps out to his right, and opened up the space to fire a shot just out of the reach of Daniel Hill. So he becomes the fourth Fighting Saint to score a goal today. Miziet has 2. For Marmolejo, that is goal number 3 of the season. And he is now the 4th leading scorer on the team. So the top 4 scorers have all added to their totals today. Another chance for Marmolejo down in the corner. Marmolejo passes back to Yakovalic. He takes a shot, and that didn't miss by much. That was a good shot from long range for Stefan Yakovalic. But it sails out of bounds. Still 5-0 St. Francis. 64th minute goal for Anthony Marmolejo, the second goal of the half for the Fighting Saints after Amin Miziet scored just 6 minutes earlier. New players on the field for both teams. That was Zidane Charles, who was working with the ball last for Trinity and knocked out of bounds by Kobe Rudin. Corner kick coming up for the Fighting Saints. Will be taken by Sergio Perez. Perez has it lined up, sends it away in front of the net, and knocked quickly out of bounds by Trinity. Another corner kick coming up right away. So back-to-back corner kicks for the Fighting Saints. This one is deflected immediately right back to Marmolejo. His shot deflected again. Another attempt headed over the net. And we've got another corner kick coming up. Good header right there by Kobe Rudin. Daniel Hill had lunged in the other direction before the deflection. And so if Rudin hadn't headed that ball away, it probably would be a 6-0 score right now. Sergio Perez has it set up for his 3rd straight corner kick. Deflected again by Rudin. Back to Perez. Perez hits it high in the air out to the opposite side. And it drifts towards the end line and out of bounds. This time last touched by St. Francis. And so finally Trinity International clears, and we've got a goal kick. Isaac Avalos comes in, freshman from Manuka for St. Francis. Morgan McKenzie checks out, a junior from England. Here's Santos Contreras heading it forward. Rudin back the other way to Cooey. Cooey back over to Rudin on his left. There's Patterson on the far side of the field, pushing it off towards the sideline and Wells. Patterson once again. Trinity trying to get it out of the danger zone here. They've been having a lot of trouble in this second half of getting the ball to the other side of the field. They've kept us looking left. So that one is deflected out of bounds off of Willard. Saints will get a throw in here. Just about halfway through this second half. 22:45 to play in the game. Knocked back to Yakovalic. He taps it into the middle of the field. A shot and a save by Hill. The ball almost went under the arms of Hill. He was able to fall on top of it, though, off the shot from, I think that was Sergio Perez. Knocked out of bounds. This is a St. Francis throw-in on the far side, down in the corner. Anthony Marmolejo will toss it in. Fires in past Perez and knocked away quickly by Daniel Rivera. Foul called on St. Francis. We're going the other way with it. 5-0 Fighting Saints lead. This is the third time in the last 4 games they've scored at least 4 goals. 14 goals scored now over their last 4 games played. And in one of those games, they were shut out. So it shows that when they've been good lately, they've been really good. Could not get one in on Holy Cross, though. Holy Cross, a very tough team this year. And they showed it against the Fighting Saints last week in their 2-0 triumph over the Saints. Here comes Fox towards the far side. Fox pushes it ahead. A chance in the box now. Ball rolled towards the middle of the field, right in front of the net, and deflected away. Taken by the Saints. Wells gets it back for Trinity. Zidane Charles to the right side. Nick Willard. Willard loses the ball to Diego Cortez. Cortez passed back to Contreras, nearly intercepted. Contreras gets to it, though. Rolls it back to the middle. And sent downfield by Malik Rashid. Down towards the far corner, out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick. Ball rolls away from Daniel Hill's grasp once again as he has it set up for the goal kick. Out towards midfield, headed back by the Saints. 20 minutes to play in the second half. Out of bounds. It'll go Trinity's way. Talked about St. Francis's mighty offensive output of late. Trinity's coming off of their best offensive game of the year. They scored 8 goals against Lincoln Christian in a non-conference game earlier this week and have not been able to keep that offense rolling today back in the CCAC. They came in at 3-4 on the season. St. Francis 5-3-1. Fighting Saints looking for their 3rd win in their last 4 games. They're also looking for their first winning streak of the season. They're 5-3-2 rather than 5-3-1, but of those 5 wins, they've each either been followed by a loss or a tie. Today a chance to develop back-to-back wins as the ball is sent in by Yakovalic towards Cortez, but out of bounds. They're in pretty good shape to do it. With just under 19 minutes to go and a 5-goal lead, it was 3-0 at halftime. And they never let up on the pressure, adding 2 more here in the second half. Amin Mizyed has scored twice. Marmolejo and McKenzie have also scored, so it's been a very good day for players whose last names begin with M. But Zakhar Shkidchenko has also put one in. And we can't call him Midchenko, so it's also a good day for him. Tossed into Patterson. Nathan Patterson makes his way up the middle of the field, pressured by Marmolejo. Patterson gets it forward to Mueller. Mueller loses it, trying to get it back to the sideline. He finds Caleb Wells. Back to Johnny Mueller. Over to his right, we've got a whistle. Yellow card. Yellow card called on Trinity International Johnny Mueller called for the yellow with 18:01 to play. That's the second yellow card we've seen today. That one on Johnny Mueller. The first one went against St. Francis and Malik Rashid. Ball is set up here by Sergio Perez. Perez is going to take this free kick from the far side of the field to the right of the net. This one roughly 35 yards out. He's got most of his teammates set up about 15 yards in front of him. He takes a moment as this booking is written down by the referee David Avignon. And now the referee backs up. We're ready for the kick here from Perez. Just waiting for the whistle. Again, 18:01 still to play. St. Francis has been in control since pretty early in the first half. And they remain in control now with a big lead. There's the whistle. Clock starts, the kick is away, and the save is made by Daniel Hill. Perez tries to put it on net from 35 yards out, and he does put it on net, but Daniel Hill was able to make the stop. There's Hill's punt down the near side, dies up in the wind, and drops 10 yards short of midfield. Saints just let it go right out of bounds. And they'll throw it back in. Both teams continue to make some substitutions. Josiah Joseph is in for Trinity International. St. Francis has brought on Fabian Aloa. Eric Vega is also on the field. He has been for the last couple of minutes for the Fighting Saints. Daniel Hill, the goalkeeper for Trinity International, is in possession of the ball as he punts it out towards midfield. Headed backwards by Yakovalevic. Pushed ahead by Navas. Charles is working for the ball, and he loses it to the Saints. Aloa back to Perez. Perez down the field for Cortez. Headed out of harm's way by Nathan Patterson. There's a shot from way outside from Eric Vega. Vega about 25 yards or more away from the net. Tries to score and sends it too high and out of bounds with under 16 and a half minutes to play in the second half. There's the goal kick sent by Hill and headed right back by Yakovalevic. Perez steps up on it. Rudin heads it towards Hill, and Hill is able to pick that one up just before Fabian Aloa can get to him. Mostly reserves on the field now for the Fighting Saints, but they're still trying to add to this lead. Trinity has not had any opportunity to rest here in the second half. Not that you ever would anyway, but they have really had to step up defensively here. Saints have kept going forward, consistently forward, almost the entire second half has been played on this side of the field. Trinity has not been able to work any sort of extended possessions over the last half hour as Luca Eric comes back in for Trinity International. There's a ball towards the net and picked off by Daniel Hill. Another nice play made by Hill. Hill's been very active here. Like the starting goalkeeper, Andre Wenzel, he's given up multiple goals but also made some good saves. Wenzel made 5 saves in the first half, but was removed after allowing 3 goals as well. His replacement Hill has given up 2 goals so far with a little under 15 minutes left to give up more, though he's hoping that he doesn't add anything to that. Saints are looking to add something right now. There's a cross, and there's a deflection away. Now Eric Vega taps it once into the middle of the field. Vega loses it. Chased back down by Cortez. Yakovalic out to Navas on the left side. A whistle and a foul. Is some shoving going on between the two teams. Cortez was pushed, I think, by Joseph after the play had halted. And with the clock stopped at 14 minutes, 17 seconds, Fighting Saints are going to get a free kick. And there's a yellow card for Josiah Joseph. So that's 2 yellow cards given out to Trinity players now, 1 to St. Francis. Frustration certainly building up for Trinity, as they have not been able to break through against the St. Francis defense here in the second half, nor in the first. 5-0 our score. Saints are looking for their second shutout in their last 4 games. They seem to have this game well in hand, although we won't count it over yet. Still 14 minutes for Trinity to try to get their 5 goals as this one sails out of bounds from Perez. A shutout would be nice. They would like to add another goal or 2 if they can, just to keep giving chances to different guys. Again, most of the starters are out. I don't think they need any more insurance to feel any more comfortable than they probably already do with this result. But still looking to add on, and again, trying to make sure that they can secure this shutout. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto looking to pick up another one. The senior goalkeeper has shut out Roosevelt 5-0 and Trinity Christian 1-0 this year. So this would be the third shutout victory of the season if they can hold on for another 13.5 minutes. A lot of whistles late in this game. Things have gotten pretty physical. Rudin starts things off here after the foul on St. Francis. Patterson to the far side and Wells. Wells pushes it forward. And a battle for the ball right now, won by St. Francis. Into the box, long run, and Cortez can't get to it. Goal kick for Daniel Hill. Hill's line drive kick goes to midfield where Yakovalic heads it right back ahead to Aloha. Mueller trying to take Aloha off the ball, but Aloha wins the battle. Navas over to his right, Leonardo Harrow. Big kick downfield, looking again for Cortez, but once again Cortez can't get there in enough time. A little bit too far out in front of him. Here come the Trojans working from the defensive line. Charles, intercepted by Vega and a whistle. A handball against St. Francis. 12 minutes to play. Free kick taken by Hill. Hill set up the free kick for Rudin to take it. Rudin's kick is headed back the other way by the Fighting Saints. Back to Hill, who hits it high in the air out towards midfield. It dies up near the circle. Joseph is there on the receiving end. Joseph working against Vega. Tries to get around Vega and runs right into Sergio Perez as he loses the ball. On the far side of the field, this is Wells waiting for it to go out of bounds. He picks up to get the throw in now. Caleb Wells right along the sideline. Ball is lost by Daniel Rivera to Isaac Avalos. Rivera back to his right to Willard. Here comes Charles. Zidane Charles to his left. Rivera once again. And they continue to move the ball backwards. Trinity just trying to keep control for the moment, and as soon as I say that, they lose it out of bounds. Another sub for St. Francis. Hunter Fuchs is coming back in. He started today, but has been on the bench for a while. And Fabian Aloa comes back in. Back into the box. Rudin watches it as it bounces into the waiting hands of Daniel Hill. Kicking into the wind. Trinity's had a little trouble off of punts and goal kicks. Reversing field, which is what they've been trying to do. That's a nice big kick down across midfield. But they haven't consistently been able to reverse field on their free opportunities as the clock winds down under 10 minutes. Obviously, St. Francis has outplayed Trinity so far today, but the Trojans had a little bit more life in them in the first half. Here in the second, they just haven't been able to clear it off the defensive end. They do get it across midfield here, but only briefly as Foose sends it immediately in the other direction. Hill heads it. He was coming out of the box. Looked like he wasn't exactly sure whether or not he was in a position where he could pick it up yet. So he just headed it away. Ball ends up going out of bounds. And we've got a St. Francis throw in. Vega takes his time as he walks over to scoop it up. Knocked away by Perez. And back to Trinity. This is Mueller looking for Josiah Joseph. He's got him, and he gets it right back. Back behind him. This is Patterson rolling to the left. Patterson intercepted. Another chance for St. Francis. Dribbling off to the left. There's a shot deflected. Headed away. Still in the box. The Saints try it again. And again deflected away by Joseph. Bandeta has it back. He's the one who took the shot a minute ago, and this time he's fouled. Thiago Bandeta fouled on the play, and that allows a free kick to St. Francis. With 8 minutes to play, the Fighting Saints just slightly off to the left of dead center on the field. And a chance from under 30 yards out. Jakovalevic stands behind the ball, as does Sergio Perez. And Perez is going to take the free kick as Jakovalevic walks away from the ball. Perez trying to extend the lead to 6-0, takes the shot and puts it just off target, a little bit over the net, out of bounds. It remains 5-0 as the ball will be set up for a goal kick for TIU. Tough game for Trinity today, coming off of their best of the season, albeit in a non-conference game. They snapped a 4-game losing streak with their 8-1 win over Lincoln Christian. Now it's back to the drawing board for them after this game. They'll be back at home against Olivet Nazarene in their next contest. Far side of the field, headed back into the hands of Hill. Hill rolls it forward, nearly intercepted. Charles keeps it alive for TIU. Wells to Patterson, right back to Wells. He and Patterson playing a two-man game. Now finally Patterson goes a little bit deeper, and it's intercepted by Jakovalevic. In front of the net, here's Cortez. Cortez working his way outside, turns to face the net. Rivera challenging him defensively and knocked away by Wells. Well defended by the Trojans on that play. Now a quick chance at a counterattack. Johnny Mueller slows things down. Mueller trying to back it up, had it taken away by Cortez. Cortez receives the pass, but a foul is called on Johnny Mueller. Mueller gets the yellow card, and that's a red for him. Second yellow for Johnny Mueller, and Mueller is done. That's the third yellow card given in the last 20 or so minutes to Trinity International. The clock stops at 6:14 as Mueller is given the red card. And so the Saints The rest of the way we'll play with not just a 5-goal advantage, but with a 1-man advantage as well. Excellent performance all day today for the Fighting Saints. And I don't think it was terribly likely that Trinity was going to come back from 5 goals down to begin with in 6 minutes, but that makes it a little bit harder now that they're playing down a man. And another yellow card given. Luca Eric is handed a yellow. Must have been for something he said to the official after the Mueller yellow, after the Mueller red card was given. So both Joseph and Eric are playing with yellow cards. 1 man already gone for Trinity. And Leonardo Harrow will take the free kick here with 6:14 on the clock. Into the box, 1 bounce. Hill punches it away. And Hill was challenged on that play. Bandeta runs through Hill. And that caused the whistle to blow. I think it might have been an offsides whistle, actually. Regardless, the Saints are not able to get a shot off on that attack. And we go back to midfield. Rivera is pushed to the ground by Yakovalic. Foul is called against St. Francis. And the Trojans tried to get it started again right away. But the whistle blew again. Referee wanted them to bring the ball back to the original spot. There's the kick. Ahead for Rivera. Rivera controls it off his chest, works towards the sideline, and now turns back towards the middle of the field. Over to Charles. Charles loses it. Yakovalic clears it. Out of bounds. Chased down by Rudin. Rudin rolls it ahead to the spot where it went out. A throw in for Nick Willard. Willard into Eric. Eric passes to Joseph. And it's tapped out of bounds. Throw in here for Josiah Joseph. He'll give it back to Willard as well. Here's Eric. Eric, Charles, and Joseph are the last names of the 3 players near the ball right now for Trinity. Makes it sound like I'm trying to be buddies with them all, calling them all by their first name, but it's in fact their last names. Joseph ahead to Rudin and back to Patterson. Nathan Patterson over to the left side. Rolls it to the sideline and Wells. Saints continue moving forward on the attack, and on the far side we've got a foul called. Man down for Trinity. It's Nathan Patterson who is grabbing at his right leg. And the last thing you ever want to see with just 4 minutes left in a 5-goal game is anybody get hurt. This one has been decided. The result has been in for most of the second half, really, for all intents and purposes. So, of course, you want to see both teams continue to play hard, but hopefully to avoid any injuries. And it looks like Patterson is not injured too badly. He was down clutching his left leg for a moment, or his right leg, rather. But he is up and walking it off, ready to continue. Clock stopped at exactly 4 minutes to play. And out of that injury timeout, a free kick for Trinity across midfield. Here's Josiah Joseph trying to control it, back to Rivera. Rivera ahead to Eric and back to Joseph. Joseph looks to his right, now dribbles to his left, ahead to Rivera. Good ball to Rivera, but Rivera was offsides. Rivera was wearing the headband and trying to keep his hair out of his face, but the headband was in his face. As he was dribbling down the field, he had to reach up and readjust that headband. It's not a position you ever want to be in when you're trying to chase down a pass that could lead to a chance at scoring a goal. But he never had a chance there anyway because he was offsides. Big kick downfield for Carlos Vercoto to Diego Cortez, and Cortez just misses. A little bit wide to the right. It looked pretty good from this angle off of his foot, but it missed the target. Would have been Cortez's first goal of the year if it had gone. Fabian Aloa comes out. Diego Hernandez is in for St. Francis. 2.5 minutes to play. Foul against the Fighting Saints. They've been called for a lot of them, but they have not adversely affected the results here as the Saints continue to lead by 5. Josiah Joseph looks to his right. He finds Eric. Luca Eric backs up, passes behind him, looking for Rudin on the defensive side, and Rudin steps up, slides that ball forward, but it's taken back by the Saints. Now Cortez is on a run, and we've got a whistle. I think that ball went out of bounds. Cortez was not able to save it. Charles loses it to Vega. Willard gets it back for the team in blue. There's a deflection by Diego Hernandez. Hernandez fights to keep that ball alive. Still in bounds, but Rudin has positioning on him. And trying to get around Rudin, Hernandez got a little handsy. He's called for the foul. Hill takes his time, waits for his team to get set up downfield. Now that line drive kick headed back by the Saints. On the defensive end, a battle for the ball. And Patterson takes his man down. I think we're going to get another yellow card here. So he dragged Diego Hernandez to the ground. Yellow card given to Nathan Patterson. So he's one of 3 Trojans now playing with a yellow card. One man has already been eliminated from the game. Johnny Mueller was disqualified for getting 2 yellows earlier this afternoon. So 5 yellow cards have been given to Trinity, and they've all been in the second half. 76 seconds still to play. Saints trying to add one more goal to what has already been a very impressive total. Yakovalevic steps back, and he takes the kick. It sails too high and out of bounds. Likely the last shot that St. Francis will take today, but it's no sure thing. Again, with that wind blowing in their faces, Trinity's had a tough time on these goal kicks, getting too much distance downfield. We're in the final minute of play. That ball is won by the Fighting Saints at midfield. Sent down the way towards Rudin, and Rudin is able to force Diego Hernandez off the ball and let it roll out for another goal kick. This will most likely be the last one of these today as Trinity tries to get some momentum going forward and maybe get one last shot at breaking up this shutout. Only 20 seconds to play, though, as the ball is sent off the foot of Daniel Hill to midfield. Kicked in the air by Luca Eric, but he went too high with the kick on Yakovalevic. That's a foul, and that should be just about all she wrote for this game. In the final 10 seconds, the Saints make their way forward one more time. Eric Vega controls it. Vega takes one last shot. Hill falls on top of it, and there's the buzzer. This one comes to a close. 5-0, the final score. St. Francis victorious over Trinity International. And a great showing for the Fighting Saints today as they scored 3 in the first half, 2 more in the second half, and they run away from TIU, never really allowing them in the game after that first goal. The Trojans did have some chances early on. They were not able to capitalize as they looked to take the first lead of the game. That didn't happen. Instead, the first lead came from St. Francis in the 24th minute. Morgan McKenzie, after a corner kick, did not work out for the Saints initially. On a rebound, it went back to McKenzie. He scored, made it 1-0 early on. 12 minutes after that, Amin Mizyed scored the first of what would ultimately be 2 goals for him. That made it 2-0. And then just a minute and a half after that, off a feed from Jorge Navas, Zakhar Shkidchenko scored his 5th goal of the season. That made it 3-0, and that was our halftime score. Anthony Marmolejo, by the way, had the assist on Amin Mizyed's first goal. Then in the second half, it was already 3-0. Stefan Yakovalevic sent a good pass into Amin Mizyed. Mizyed scored his 2nd goal of the game and his 7th of the season in the 58th minute. That made it 4-0. And then 6 minutes after that, Anthony Marmolejo set one up nicely for himself. He scored his 3rd goal of the season, this one unassisted, and made the final 5-0. Saints outshot Trinity in the game 38-4. Carlos Ferrer-Cotto did make 2 saves in the contest, and some good goalie play as well for both of Trinity International's goalkeepers. 5 saves were made by their starter, Andre Wenzel, and 6 saves were made by their backup, Daniel Hill, but both men allowed multiple goals to score as well as the Saints pick up the victory. They improved to 6-3-2 on the season. They're now 5-3-1 in conference. Trinity International goes to 3-5 on the season. They're 2-5 in conference play. St. Francis has just a few more games left on the schedule here prior to the CCAC tournament. They will play 3 more times, including a couple more at home. They'll be back here next weekend to take on Calumet St. Joseph. As always, go to GoFightingSaints.com for the entire soccer schedule and the entire broadcast schedule as well. We'll be on the air here from Joliet Memorial Stadium for all of the home games. Our final score, 5-0. St. Francis pulls out the victory. That's going to do it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you're a St. Francis fan, you almost certainly did. We'll talk to you next time. Until then, this is Terry Bonadonna signing off. Have a good Saturday night.